Welcome, welcome. Good to see everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another Sunday live stream. Feel free to say hi in the chat. And also put down any requests you have. If you got any pain points, stuff you want to work on, any specific Qigong movements or styles that you're feeling today. Feel free to help me customize this class. Just let me know in the comments. Hello, Tina from hot and steamy Dayton. Where's Dayton? Oh, yeah, Ohio. It's probably pretty humid there, huh? Good morning to Kiri in California. Is it hot there too? I know the Northwest is pretty smoking these days. Always up for teacups and swimming dragon. All right. Any other requests? Yeah, it's humid there, eh? Not a lot of humidity here in the high desert of Idaho, but it is pretty hot. Hey, Sam, my man. Good to see you. Sam's one of the few of you I know in real life. Tina says, anything for lungs and liver. Oh, that sounds cool. Hello, Moonclee from Cincinnati. Thanks for the love. Neck and shoulders for Takiri. I only got a couple little sips of coffee left in me, so let me know if you got any other requests. What do you guys think? Are the lights annoying, or do they add something to the class? I think they're fun. Well, looks like that's all our requests. Let's get moving. Hey, Debbie. Oh, glad you like the lights, Linda. Debbie actually is now the first graduate of my Qigong teacher training. So congrats to Debbie. I think she'll be putting some stuff up on YouTube. So healthy living with Debbie. Feel free to give her a follow. Morning, Janet. Morning, Meliakua. All right, let's get our Qigong stance, feet under the shoulders. And just as we often do, starting with a little knocking, just waking the body up. If your coffee didn't do that already, we'll just punch ourselves in the adrenal glands for a little while. Get things woken up. I know some of you, it's not morning for you. What's my teacher? Lee calls this the cappuccino of adrenal stimulation. Bring that front hand a little higher, just up to the rib cage, just knocking or slapping really just below your chest, basically slapping your stomach and liver. Wish I could play my music for you guys today. I found a really good playlist. Come to the chest. Wonder if there is a way to play music on YouTube Live. Should really look that up. YouTube does have a library of music I can put in my videos. I don't know if you can play them on the live though. All right, over the shoulder, slap that trapezius, gallbladder 21 point. In case you didn't see it, I posted yesterday a Qigong for sleep video. So if you want to do a second round of Qigong later today, I might try that one out. It's just, I think, 21 minutes. Come back to the chest. rib cage, lower abdomen, and let's relax. Good. Put your hands on the hips, give your hips a circle. We'll get ready for our teacups here. We'll do the teacups with one arm, then the other, and then we'll try both, which is pretty tough coordination-wise. This makes a nice brain exercise. Okay, let's go the other way. And to the center, keep that right hand on the hip, left palm face up. We're going to imagine we have a teacup on the palm, so you don't want to spill it. So you're going to keep it up, face up. It's going to come in, back, left, forward and over the head. Back in, back, left, over the head. Spiral with the arm. We're going to add a circle with the hips. Here the hips go kind of opposite to the arm. Going back, or sorry, with the arm. The hips here kind of get out of the way so the hand can pass. Then they go back, left, forward. So a nice sort of full body joint opening thing here. So one more. We're going to meet back where we started and go the other way. So now you're going to come from behind the head, go forward, come around behind the hip, and forward by the waist. Around from behind the head, go forward over the head. Try to keep that palm face up. Spiral by the hip, reach forward. With our hips moving, here the hips go left, hips go back, hips go right, hand passes the hips, hips go forward. On this one, the hips are more going almost opposite the hand, especially here. Last one. And switch sides. Right palm face up. You're going to bring it in, back, right, forward, and then going backwards over the head. Backwards by the hip. Back over the head. Hip circle. Opening the waist, hips, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Last one, we'll switch directions. Pause where we started. Going forward over the head. Back and forward from the hip, like you're serving the tea here. Over the head. And forward from the hip. Now the hip circle. Hips go back, left, forward, right, back. Very nice. We're going to keep going with this one. Just hold the left palm face up in space. Keep that right hand moving. And then we're going to add the left hand in. As the right hand goes over the head, left hand's going to go in by the hip. They both go out to the sides. Right hand goes by the hip, left hand back over the head. So we go head and hip, sides, head and hip, sides. It's kind of like we're making two shapes here, letter T, letter S, letter T, letter S. See if you can keep it going. Keep those palms spiraled upwards. Okay, we're going to switch directions. If you want to keep working on this one, my Qigong for longevity video that I posted back in November, I think, has this one and a couple other weird brain game ones like this. All right, let's turn this into a stretch. Palms come down behind your back, palms together, fingers point down. Tuck it up, lift your crown, pull your shoulders back. And then we'll just find a big slow circle with the head, leaning to one side. Circle the head, reach through the crown. Few deep breaths. Look for a stretch, moving around neck and shoulders. Go the other direction. And over to one side, hold the stretch. And circle the chin slowly, gently in the air. Stay to this side, but circle the other way. Roll across the other side, find that stretch, and circle the chin. And the other direction. And release. Nice, roll it out a bit. Very good. Okay, let's find a similar exercise. We'll build into it though, so we'll start with just the legs. So we're gonna take a nice wide stance. Toes will be pointed out here. So what we're gonna look for is sinking the hips and just shifting side to side. We'll just start like this. Feeling sensitive in the knees or hips, you can do this a little narrower, just a small shift. If you're doing that though, try not to go too far. You don't want to put your knees over your toes. Try not to stress your knees out. So if you want to shift further and deeper, you kind of need a wider stance. Okay, so if you're feeling it, really sink into it and look for a little groin stretch or inner hamstring stretch. Feel free to stay higher up if this doesn't feel good. Okay, we're gonna let the arms get involved. So here as you shift to one side, the arms go diagonal, the same angle as the straight leg. Just extend, same angle as the leg. Again, this can all be higher up, gentler. Feel free to suit it to you, or it can be a real deep stretch and strength. Okay, back to the center. Point your toes forward, stretch it out. We're going to add the arms in a moment here. Just take a little breather. Good, roll it up. Going to take the arms out to the sides. If you have a wall, you can actually use it. If you don't have a wall, you can just imagine there's a wall at your back. But if you have a wall, you can actually get up against it. And as we do this motion, you're going to think of tracing the wall with your hands. So if you don't have a wall, you just kind of imagine you have one. Tracing the walls opens the chest and shoulders. We basically keep winding up, coming back to that position. Okay, so I'll do it with you. So we're going to sink over to the left, straight right leg. Then we're going to turn to the right into a lunge, lifting the left heel, the arms windmill. We come back to the center. Turn to the left into a lunge, lift the right heel, arms windmill. Back to the center, and then this time bend into the right knee, straight left leg. You turn left lunge, lift left arm, lift right arm, turn center, turn right lunge, lift right arm, and then the right arm comes down for the shin. So I'll show you the gentler version. We turn right, turn left, center, left hand down for the shin. Turn left, turn right, right hand down for the shin. And of course you can do this deeper, really open up the hips, and shoulders and chest. You're really imagining this wall at your back, so the arms are kind of tracing the wall. That's going to really open that chest. Let's just do one more each side. And to the center, relax. Bring it in, give it a shake. Very nice. Not an easy one. Don't worry if that was really tough the first time. You can find that one also on my Qigong for Longevity YouTube video if you want to keep practicing it. All right, let's give it a shake. Let out a few sighing breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Give a little shake left and right. Just shake the tension out of the body. Shake with a little twist. We're gonna have a little dynamic flow today called Tai Chi circle walking. It's almost like a combination of Tai Chi and Baguazhang. Tai Chi, generally the idea, they're both martial arts or internal martial arts, so martial arts that sort of share principles with Qigong. Tai Chi, the sort of idea is you're standing in the center of a circle, surrounded by opponents, and you're turning, pivoting around that circle to turn and face all your opponents. And Baguazhang is the opposite. You're on the outside of the circle, and your opponent's on the inside, and you're sort of circling them. We call it the spinning cage. You're kind of wrapping them in a cage of human limbs. So there's a little flow that almost puts the two together, using the circle, outer circle walking of Bagua, but with the slow fluidity of Tai Chi. Bagua is actually generally practiced pretty quickly, unlike Tai Chi and Qigong. All right, slow down, pause, feel your body. So for this one, you will need a little bit of space to walk in a circle. It doesn't have to be a big circle. The bigger is kind of ideal, but if you're kind of like me, you're trying to stay on the camera, I don't have a lot of space to walk, so it's totally fine. It can also be like an oval, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. But we're going to start with just learning the hand motions. So it's pretty simple. What we're going to do is just take the arms out to the left. And the palms are just face away from you, like dragon stretches his tail. You got your right palm somewhere between the shoulder and the elbow. Left palm just face away, but without the elbow locked. So both elbows are kind of relaxed. What we're going to do is just paint a circle like this. So as we come through this part of the circle, we have this sort of guarded position out to the left. Okay, sorry, I gotta, music's distracting me now. Coming down and up. And what we're going to do is step the right foot back so that as we do this, our left foot is forward and we're sort of turning over the left leg. So you're sort of turning from your waist. As you wind up with the hands in the guarded position, we're rotated a little bit over the front leg. Now have your breath here, exhale down, inhale up. Exhale down, inhale up. You shouldn't feel no stretch in your wrists or forearms. Your wrists are just flexed enough to form the position. You're not pressing into it to find a stretch. Okay, let's do the other side. Right foot forward, hands go out to the right, forming that sort of guarded position, and dropping, and just relax on the way up, and then wrists gently flex on the way down. And you can exhale down, inhale up. I learned this one from Kelly Ryan Lake, a disciple of Jerry Allen Johnson. Apparently in that lineage you need 3 names. But Kelly's a really great Qigong teacher, also has an online Qigong school. Can't remember, I think the website is taoistlake.com or something. But I don't teach Bagua, so if you ever wanted to learn, it's a good place to do it. Kelly also started his teaching business in Santa Cruz, California, with where I was. That's where I was learning with him. And then once his business went online, he moved to New Mexico, to the mountains or something. And I was like, oh, why would anybody leave California to move to the middle of nowhere? And 2 years later, I did the same thing. Funny how things go. All right, shake it out. We're going to add our footwork. So we're going to walk in a circle. Again, you don't need a ton of space. I'm just orienting my camera so you can see my feet better. So let's say we start on the left side of the circle. So if we all come over to the left. And this way we'll just wind up walking together. And with the right side of our body is faced towards the inside of the circle. Inside of the circle should be on your right, just so we're all on the same side. And we're not really doing a Bagua step. The Bagua stepping pattern is a little stranger, like sliding your feet and stuff. We're doing more of a Tai Chi step pattern. So that means touching the heel gently and then rolling the weight into the toes. Touch gently and roll. So it's mostly like normal walking. It's just very slow and deliberate. With that light heel touch before any weight goes in. And that basically just makes it so every step is a little exercise and balance. So instead of how we would normally walk, we're just kind of falling into our feet. We're incredibly deliberate and controlled. And so every step we got to stand like a crane standing on one leg. Very nice to strengthen the feet. My circle's probably a mess, but you're gonna imagine like you have a nice circle drawn on the floor, and it's almost as though you're stepping on the line of the circle. Almost like it's a circular tightrope. Don't worry about that being perfectly one foot in front of the other. If that feels uncomfortable, Have a little bit of space between the feet. Okay, we're going to turn around. So let's say we all step forward with the right foot. Instead of putting any weight in it, we're going to stay back weighted. We're going to lift the right toes. We're going to turn them in towards the left foot. And we're going to lift the left toes, turn them out. Basically should have turned us around so that now the left side of our body is towards the inside of the circle. Let's continue with our slow, deliberate steps. Rolling the weight, heel to toe. Just getting used to the stepping. We'll add like one piece at a time here. Let's try turning around again. So when we want to turn around, we step forward with the inside foot. This is really important when we want to turn around. Whatever foot's towards the inside of the circle, that steps forward. We lift the toes, we turn them in, lift the back toes, turn them out. Now they're the front toes. Should be your inside foot lines up forward. Keep walking. Turn around again. Inside foot steps forward. Should be the right if we're all on the same side, right foot. Lift the toes, turn them in. Back toes lift, turn them out. Now stepping forward. Turn around one more time. Inside foot forward. Turn the toes in. Back toes lift, turn out. And we're walking. Now let's bring our hands in. Just that guarded position towards the center of the circle as though we were circling an opponent. Or if you want to be a little less martial, a little more spiritual, you can imagine some sort of spiritual symbol like a tree or a crucifix or I don't know, whatever means something to you. You can imagine you're circling that in a sort of ritualistic way. You don't really have to imagine anything though. All right, so we're going to try turning around here. So again, inside foot steps forward. Now we don't just move the feet, but we got to turn the hands around. So the way we do that is we touch the elbow, slide the palms up together, turn the front toes in, turn the back toes out, and then slide the hand down to the elbow and turn the palms out. So let's just try that a couple times here. Touch the elbow, slide up to the palms, pick up the front toes, turn them in, pick up the back toes, turn them out, slide the hand down to the elbow, and turn the palms towards the center. Do that a little closer, you guys. So we touch, slide up, turn toes in, turn toes out, slide down towards the center of the circle. Touch, slide up, turn on the feet, slide down, touch, slide up, turn on the heels, slide down. You can see you could do that really quickly if you wanted to. This is sort of a move from Bagwazon. Our opponents here, we're trying to sort of brush off their grasp. If they're holding us, we're trying to brush them off and turn around from another direction. You can see why they call this the spinning cage. All right, let's find ourselves all with the left foot forward, hands in from the left side towards the inside of the circle. We're going to walk again. One foot in front of the other, palms towards the center of the circle. All right, this will become more meditative in a moment. Okay, now let's just try turning around one more time. Inside foot forward, ideally your left foot. Touch the elbow, slide up, turn on the heels, slide down. Hopefully we're experts at that by now. So now we're going to bring the movement of the arms into our step. So if you remember, it was a big circle like this. The way that circle is going to work is here. When the inside foot is forward, the hands are coming through this part, through the inside of the circle. And as that outside foot steps, the hands are going to come up the outside. We step inside, hands down the inside. Step outside, hands up the outside. Go inside, outside. So now our step is going to be a little slower as we start to make it this meditation. Up the outside, down the inside. Up the outside, down the inside. Again, if you got an awkward space, you can make it an oval, kind of like I'm doing here. You start to add our breath to this. You're exhaling everything on the inside. Inhaling, things go around the outside. Exhale inside. Inhale outside. Let's turn around here, inside footsteps. Touch the elbow, slide up, turn on the heels, slide down, the left side of the body towards the inside. As we step with the outside foot, hands come up the outside. Step with the inside foot, hands down the inside. Up the outside, down the inside. Like the breath again, inhale outside. Exhale inside. Inhale outside. Exhale inside. Make it a meditation. Soak your mind into your body, like water into a sponge. Your feet, your hands, your breath, all giving focal points to the awareness. And turn around again. Do once more each side. And outside footsteps, hands up the outside. Inside footsteps, hands down the inside. Inhale outside. Exhale inside. This was another one that might not totally make sense the first time. Not super easy to learn these types of things on video always. Might be one you want to come back to a few times. If it feels challenging, that's generally a good thing. It's a sign your brain is doing a little more activity, stimulating your ability to learn and retain. Left and right brain to communicate. Might be challenging for your balance, another good thing. Strengthen those foot arches. We're just going to turn around one more time. Again, inside footsteps. Lift the toes, slide up, slide down. And continue inhaling outside, exhaling inside. Super slow nasal breaths. Mind and body becoming one. Step back to the center. Feet together, one hand over the other, palms face up under the dantian. Just end with a little centering, your circle. Come down the center like a moving prayer, exhaling. Palm under the dantian. Inhale, circle. Exhale down through the center, sink to the dantian. Inhale, circle. Bring your awareness through the head, throat, chest, solar plexus, and lower abdomen. Dropping the awareness through the body. And sending the awareness out to nature. One more. Sink it down, settle over the dantian, folding the hands there. Allowing ourselves to relax into bamboo in the wind. Rocking and swaying. Let's relax our body progressively, starting with the top of the head. Relax around the face, brow, jaw. Relax the neck and shoulders. Chest and upper back. Relax the solar plexus and mid-back. The belly, waist, and low back. Relax your hips and knees, soft knees. You can see if you can relax your feet and ankles a little bit. So allowing the weight to rock and shift as though the earth was massaging the soles of your feet. Slowly we'll step it back out and circle around the navel area. Just a few circles, a couple deep abdominal breaths. Center just below the navel. Take a deep breath in. Let it spread with a sigh. Very nice. Feel free to give it a stretch. Good. Kind of an interesting ritual, huh? Well, if you have just about 5 minutes or so, get comfy for a little meditation. We'll just help sync that to the dantian. Meditation is so pleasant after Qigong. Let's do a few minutes. Getting comfortable, you can lay down if you like, or sit up straight. So the goal in Qigong is to get the Qi into the Dantian. But pretty much before the Qi will get there, the mind has to get there. And it's not actually that easy to put the mind in the Dantian because the mind likes to live up in the brain. And so it can be hard to sink the mind down to the Dantian, at least not willingly. So we'll take the energy of mind from the easiest point of contact with the body, which is the breath as it's felt at the nose. I'll just kind of gradually, step by step, work it down to the lower Dantian in a very sort of path of least resistance way. So we're going to start with our attention just at the point where the breath first contacts the body. And for some of you, you might not find this, but many of you might find that you can actually feel your breath just outside the nose. That might be at the upper lip, or the surface of the nostrils, or the tip of the nose. See if you can find the first point of contact with that movement of air. This point is used in Vipassana meditation to sharpen the mind. We'll just watch a few breaths at each of these points, starting with this just outside the nose. What subtle movement of breath can you feel there? Focus your mind on that. As I often say, the mind is like wind. It doesn't like to stay in one place. You can't really grab it and put it somewhere. It's always moving and expanding. So as we focus, think not about necessarily telling the mind to stay somewhere, but rather just continually redirecting the mind to the same spot. Like a wind that is always on the move. You're just sort of harnessing and telling that wind where to go, not necessarily where to stay. Let's move a little further in. Feel the breath inside the nose. And let's include the throat here as well. The nose, navel cavity, back of the throat. Anywhere in there you feel the breath. Keep directing the mind there. Nose, throat, nasal cavity. A couple more breaths. And bring it down to feel the chest, upper back, but also you might even feel your breath as it moves at the collarbones and shoulders, sort of pulse with the breath slowly. Here we're not necessarily feeling the movement of air against a surface, but here rather just the movement of the ribs and bones as they expand and contract with the lungs. chest, shoulders, collarbones, upper back. And dropping a little lower, solar plexus, rib cage, mid back. All these regions, we're not trying to force the movement of breath, just watching what's happening naturally. Although the simple act of the awareness being there will generally invite more movement there. So you might be curious about watching that. I notice places that can relax to invite more breath. As we often say, a bigger breath is not necessarily a better breath. Overbreathing causes stress and, ironically, oxygen deficiency. Just allow the breath to be as subtle as it likes, or as deep as it likes. Just watching, curious. We'll drop down not quite to the dantian, more just about the level of the navel and the waist and the lower back. So sort of just between the solar plexus and the dantian. The area we call the belt channel, the door of life. Feel the breath there, navel area, waist, lower back. Again, no forcing. Think of your mind like a gravity, though, that the attention's in that region starts to sort of pull the breath there, despite its gentle influence. And then our last region, the lower dantian. So that'd be the area just below the navel. Feeling the breath there. The very bottom of your breath. Deepest point to breathe to. Again, no force. Let your mind be like gravity. Gently influencing the breath, but not forcing it. It's okay if the breath is extremely subtle here. Might be very obvious, might be a big motion. Might be very, very subtle. Most of the movement being higher up in the body. Just a little bit of movement getting down here. Either way is totally fine. You're just going to pay attention to whatever seems to be showing up there. And we'll fold the hands over that place just below your navel. Use the feeling of the hands here, just further connect your mind to this place. Just for a couple more breaths. And then we circle. Circle the belly. Use the circle partly to bring a little bit of our chi further here to the dantian, but also just to make a little bridge from our sort of deep inner practice back to our outer reality. Let's pause that, take a deep breath. Just let out a big sigh, let the energy spread through the body. Very nice. Again, you can feel free to twist, stretch, or massage. Make sure nothing's getting stuck. Very nice. All right, hope you enjoyed. There's a lot of talk about the dantian as this kind of like super powerful, charged up place that's going to be burning hot and fill your body with vitality and all this crazy stuff. But generally in the beginning stages, or for the whole stage for people who don't take Qigong crazily seriously, that never happens. It's just, that's sort of the yang aspect of the dantian, but that doesn't happen for a while. So sort of we start out with the yin aspect, which is just the ability to sink, right? To have a calm mind that then sinks like the breeze settling to the bottom of a pond after the water calms down. So it's really like a mental and emotional anchor, especially in the beginning. And gradually, with a lot of practice, it'll start to light up and get really hot and, give you a ton of energy and stuff. But I think that's kind of an oversold benefit of that dantian stuff. Like it doesn't happen from just, doing like casual Qigong once in a while. Thanks everybody. Thanks for all your thanks in the comments. I got a bunch of new videos out on YouTube. I know I kind of snoozed for a while working on my teacher training, and I wasn't posting a lot of new stuff on YouTube except for these live streams, but I got a bunch of new stuff up there. So feel free to check them out. My most recent one, the evening Qigong for deep sleep. I have one it's called Chi Strength, and it's kind of like an upper body and core workout because, we get such a good leg workout a lot of the time in Qigong, but not a lot going on for the upper body. So it's kind of a chest, shoulders, triceps, core workout that is kind of mixed with, some Qigong warm-ups and Dao Yin stretches and, a little flow at the end. So you still get like a Qigong practice in as well. So kind of a nice twofer. And I posted another one, the 3 Forces Qigong, which was sort of one working on the 3 dantians, and it's a little bit more of a lower body workout and stretch, doing some Qigong that comes from Shaolin, which is really, really fun, that I learned from my friend Ellie Cohen on Qi from Ellie. So he's a great teacher as well. Sam says, love the evening one. Can't wait for the teacher training. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Tina. You're welcome. Relaxed Aware says, thank you for helping me stretch and fortify my brain with those crazy alternating movements. Yeah. Yeah, they're fun, huh? Really get your brain working. I have a really interesting interview that I did like 2 or 3 years ago. So this was probably like one of my first interviews on my channel. I'm trying to do more of. But it was with a Kung Fu teacher. You can look this up on my channel. But it was a Kung Fu teacher who started a program for kids with autism kind of by accident. He was actually a psychiatric nurse by day, so he's kind of plugged into the neurology world, but then was like a Kung Fu teacher by night. And he was teaching just regular Kung Fu classes, and then a parent came in with an autistic child and was like, hey, like, do you think like my kid can do Kung Fu? He really wants to do it. And the teacher was like, oh, and he's talking to the kid. He's like, go hang your jacket on the hook. And I guess the autistic brain doesn't process like instructions as well sometimes. And so the kid went and took his boots and put them on the shelf, right? The words went in and became something totally different. And he was like, well, I don't know. We'll see, but I'll just give it a shot. And so he tried teaching this child Kung Fu. And what was really interesting is nothing else changed in this kid's life except learning Kung Fu. And all his autism symptoms started like disappearing. Not all of them, he didn't like completely recover, but a lot of them just really improved, like his ability to do instructions and stuff. And this guy's a psychiatric nurse, so he's going and he's talking to all these, psychiatrists and stuff at the place he works. And he's like, why do you think this kid's getting so much better from Kung Fu? And they were saying like a big part of autism is the left-right brain connection is like somewhat impaired, which is why they often live in like solely the left brain and like the world of abstraction. Which is why they're very often like super, super gifted with like math and things like that. But because of the Kung Fu doing all these cross body motions and coordinating left and right body, it was causing the left and right brain to communicate more. And that translated to not just movement, but to all sorts of things of the left and right brain communicating, which made the child better verbally and speaking and all kinds of things. So he wound up starting this whole program for kids with autism, teaching them Kung Fu, and apparently he's seeing all kinds of crazy success. So it's pretty interesting how just like movement can impact your brain. I never would have guessed that left-right brain effect was that strong. So it's pretty cool stuff. If it says, I found the sleep one yesterday almost instantly. That was cool. And then I missed this one, but we'll do it when I've cooled off. It's hot these days. Do the classes stay up on YouTube or roll off? So these live classes I leave up for about a week. And then if you want to find the replays, they're all available on my Patreon, which, geez, I think I might not have put the link in the description. I might have to do that. But yeah, just patreon.com/Nick Loffree. And you get access to all like year or so of the replays. But all my like fancy videos that aren't live, they just stay up forever. Kua says, thanks, that was great. I love the meditation. My lips ended up tingling like when I've done breath work and getting oxygen deeper into my body. Love the lights. They look like colorful flames. That's interesting. Your lips tingle. Yeah, that might be to do with being more oxygenated. Yeah. Alina says, thank you for the meditation, Nick. It made me really warm watching the mind, wondering, but still breathing well, was curious. Made you warm. That's really interesting. Yeah, when you get relaxed, your blood vessels like open up more. Like you get more circulation just from being relaxed. So that might be a lot of like when we're like, oh, do you feel the chi in the hands? Like it might just be like your microvessels in your hands are like filling up more. They have more blood in there. I'm sure there's something more like chi happening there too, though. Janet says, love the new ones. I'm glad you did. Always trying to learn new things to bring out for you guys. Oh, hey, here's a fun life hack. I don't know if you guys have seen like all the benefits of red light therapy and all that kind of thing. And then you go to these companies like Juve and stuff, and they sell these really fancy like red light panels, and it's like $3,000 or something. Well, you can go to Home Depot and for like $15, get a lizard light that shoots the red light into, because lizards require like red and infrared light frequencies to like be healthy. So you have to have like a UV light for your lizard and a red light for your lizard for them to be healthy. I used to have a lizard, so that's what I know this kind of stuff. But you go to Home Depot and just get one of these, hang on a whatever, and for like 15 bucks, you've got your red light therapy device. And it also makes you really warm. So not as fun in the summer, but in the winter, I like to just, while I'm working and stuff, instead of heating up the whole house, I just heat my body. And it actually has a very nice, like, de-stressing effect as well, which is really cool. But I don't know if you know the benefits of red light, but if you're in the whole health nerd world, it has a bunch of benefits on like making your mitochondria work better and lowering inflammation. It's pretty cool stuff. Anyways, also don't forget running the next round of my teacher training, and you've missed the super early bird, but you can get the regular early bird, which is just a little bit lower of a discount. And code for that and link to learn more about the teacher training is below. It's all online, so you don't have to pay $1 million to travel anywhere to do it. Yeah, and feel free to follow me on any other social platforms you use. I got the links to all those below as well. Still blowing up on TikTok, so follow me there. And Instagram, Facebook. Yeah. The top is great. Yeah, this is my my History of Santa Claus shirt. I don't know if you guys are as much of dorks as me, but I don't know if have you heard the story of Santa Claus coming from the reindeer eat the Amanita mushrooms in what is it, like Northern Europe or something? And then the shaman goes out and like collects the red and white mushrooms and like hangs them on the pine trees to dry, and some whole thing of how that kind of morphed into the Santa Claus myth. Which kind of makes sense. Santa Claus doesn't make a lot of sense considering, it's like, oh, Jesus was born in the desert, like way over here. And then there's this fat guy who lives in the North Pole who gives you presents because of it. Doesn't really make sense. Does anything to do with Christmas. So it probably does come from some weird thing like that. Although wasn't there a Saint Nicholas, who brought kids gifts or something? I don't know. Anyways, don't eat Amanita mushrooms. They're a terrible drug. People kill themselves. They kill other people. They run out in front of traffic. They're a really weird drug. They're not like other psychedelics. They like make you. They're called a deliriant more than a psychedelic. So the Vikings would actually take them before going into battle, and it would make them totally crazy. And they called those Vikings berserkers, which is where we get the term berserk, because they were just so crazed. They weren't afraid of anything. Yeah, I don't know that Amanitas are a great psychedelic experience. The other mushrooms, however, not bad. Anyways, good seeing you guys, and I'll catch you next week, same time as always. See you then.